in terms of United fans getting their wish and seeing the back of the Glazer.
Oh, yeah, they're getting excited by the Qatari money and all of that. Like, starting to think, who could we buy with the hundreds of millions they're going to bring?
All right. So let's pour some water on this, okay?
Don't.
First of all, and this is a more general thing about super rich, fun, Qatari, blah, 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 right? I think where they can have a serious impact on Manchester United will still be bound by financial fair play. So let's not think that they're going to come in and they're going to spend 350 million on Mbappe and whatever else, because it's only going to happen if they can keep within the boundaries of
but Chelsea
financial
did
fair
it, so
play,
maybe
right?
United can.
Yeah, I don't think Chelsea spent 350 million on Mbappe.
But if you spend 350 million on 10 players or one player, it's still 350 million.
True. Where they can make a serious impact is, every time we talk to Mark Ogden, he gets all grim and depressing.
Even when we don't speak.
Regardless of what we talk. No, but about how Old Trafford, the roof is leaking and needs to be redone.
Which is true.
So these are massive investments in infrastructure that you can make that will increase revenue at your club, and which don't count against financial fair play.
That's right.
And I think that is a big impact somebody like the Qataris could have.
Yeah.
The other big thing is they're not going to take money out of the club in dividends, we think.
Well, yeah, we think.
We don't know.
We think.
On the flip side, you're going to have a serious problem, or you should have a very serious problem. This comes with a big asterisk because of Nasser Al-Khelaifi. Sorry. So the UEFA rules basically say you can't have two clubs with people, with owners in the same European competition if they have the same owner or if there are certain links. Now, those rules, and the person who wrote those rules, who used to work at UEFA, told me this himself, said are not well written, and he wrote those rules.
Yeah.
There was a massive fudge with Leipzig and Salzburg, where officially there's a sponsorship deal, but there isn't. You should make this priority a number one, to have very, very clear rules on this, because they can't go and pretend that this is some Qatari guy who won the lottery and then moved to another country and then became a billionaire. It's very difficult for you to be a Qatari businessman and you don't do any business with the Qatari government.
Yeah.
You're not related. There's only 300,000 Qataris, as we know.
Yeah.
And the Qatari royal family is enormous. It's really difficult to maintain that distance. And to maintain the distance for real, not in some legal BS separate entity thing, which we saw with
another company.
With Newcastle and PIF, right? Yeah. So the question though is this something UEFA would crack down on, given the role that Nasser has at UEFA right now, at the ECA? And will that role continue? Will Qatar continue to stay relevant? We've talked about this too. Right now they've had the World Cup come and gone. These are big questions. I can tell you it becomes very, very problematic if other clubs want to make a stink about this for Nasser. It's already going to be problematic with financial fair play, and we'll see if that goes, because
I agree.
Especially if City get punished over here, and they may or may not. This is something, UEFA's credibility is at stake. UEFA's faith in institutions is at stake. They have to be seen to address this in the correct way. All that said, if the Glazers want 5 to 6 billion, I believe 4.1 to 4.5 is less than 5 to 6 billion.
Yeah.
It's less than the 5 billion Sir Jim, your friend Sir Jim in the south of France, is talking about. So why are we talking about this if the other dude's offering more? Is it because
maybe because they want 6 billion but are happy to settle for 5?
But then why not just sell it to Sir Jim?
Yeah, but maybe they might be tempted at some point to once they see the bid, the full bid is there. If Sir Jim has made the bid and all of that is there.
Well, he's written a letter. I don't know.
But it's just
I was thinking of writing a letter as well to Rain and offering 7 billion to see if that bids up the price. Maybe it could manipulate the stock price. Their shares went up 17% when news of the Qataris came out, right?
Yeah.
So imagine, do you think I could move it? If I wrote to them and said I'm ready to offer 7 billion, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Securities fraud.
I don't know. I think this should still be an exciting time if you're United fans. Things are moving. At least they're moving, even if they're just
moving on the pitch and with Ten Hag, undoubtedly.
And off the pitch as well. Even if they just take minority investment, shareholder, whatever. But at least something is moving. There's people interested in the club to pay a lot of money for it. 6 billion, I'm not so sure. So I think you're right to be excited if you're a United fan, right?
Yeah, I think it's good. And I also think from United's perspective, I know it's easy to say, but under Rangnick or under Solskjaer towards the end, if they go 2 goals down at home and they have big pieces missing, like, I mean, we're talking, what, 5 starters missing if you add them all up, right? Martial, Casemiro, Antony, Eriksen. I don't think they get back into the game. I really don't. Especially after the first half where other than Garnacho chances and that Sabitzer shot, you know, they took a lot of shots, but in terms of real things, they didn't produce much.
Yeah, but in the second half, it felt like they were going to win the game. I think
But that's encouraging. So that's what I'm saying is, if Bruno Fernandes says it's 2 points dropped, sure, but think of where you were, think of where you are, and you're 2 points behind City now. Yeah. And not a lot of people, including us, would have taken that for granted, back in September, October.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.